We created a cursed teleporter to Mars, 12 terrifying returns that expose sinister secrets. Anna Turner could feel the weight of the world spinning out of control the moment she pulled into her driveway. She stepped out of her car, the brisk evening air sending chills straight to her bones as she glanced down the street. A group of shadowy figures stood at the corner, whispering and darting glances at her home. Her heart raced, pounding against her ribcage like a trapped bird. She thought about the recent news, the return of those 12 from Mars. No one spoke of it openly, but rumors didn't need a platform to take flight. Their homecoming stories were drenched in nightmare fuel, each tale a brushstroke painting unspeakable horrors smeared with blood and madness. There were dark glimmers of judgment riding every conversation, every evening ring of the doorbell. Her once friendly neighbors transformed into tight-lipped specters with eyes festering secrets. Silenced laughter rode the wind, filling the air with uncanny echoes, blending the night with an unsettling tension. The tech job that held so much promise began to become a thread unraveling at the heel of her sanity. Anna's nights as a nurse were filled with the steady beep of monitors and fleeting glimpses of life hanging by threads. Yet now, teleporter technology was swirling around her like a beast barely contained. News of side effects ignited unease, distorted perceptions were spilling into their quiet suburb, entwining torment and paranoia. As she dashed upstairs to tuck Lily in after yet another grueling shift, the phone rang, vibrating furiously against the kitchen counter. "Anna, it's your boss. You need to know there are dangers. The teleporter, it's left something, alive." His voice cracked, panic electric in the air. "It's raising secrets from below the surface." Before she could respond, the line went dead, leaving her in silence thick as fog. And then it happened. The lights flickered ominously, the overhead bulbs sputtering violently before plunging her into darkness. "Mom!" Lily screamed from her room, pure terror in her voice. Anna rushed toward her child, the chilly floorboards creaking beneath her bare feet. She threw open the door to find Lily frozen, eyes wide, staring out the window. "It's happening again," whispered her daughter. "What do you mean?" Fear knotted in Anna's stomach, unraveling faster with every passing second. "Mom, they're back," Lily replied, her voice trembling as they peered through the smudged glass. Outside, shadows danced, stilted silhouettes with distorted features caught in the moonlight. The returnees from Mars stood ominously in the street, murmurs and twisted smiles creeping under Anna's skin, calling to dark truths buried long before their one-way trip. With panic gripping her throat, Anna's instincts roared to life. She fought against the need to bolt, to escape. Suddenly, the whispers grew louder, threading into her thoughts with unyielding clarity. "We know you, Anna. We're coming for you." Her heart thundered against her ribs, time skewing in the chaos of the moment. Were those whispers real? Paranoia spiraled around her, clenching her lungs. Who could she trust in a neighborhood that turned sinister overnight? Beneath layers of fear, tiny sparks of hope lingered desperately, desperate for safety. She caught Lily's gaze, trembling lips and wide eyes. They were caught in a suffocating cocoon of uncertainty. As they both shared the silent horror pulsing around them, Anna realized that she needed to act before the darkness consumed them completely. But what if the help she sought was entwined with the very threat lurking outside just past their door? The wind howled outside, carrying the echoes of familiar yet unrecognizable laughter, a chilling reminder that safety was a fleeting illusion. Would she face the encroaching dread alone, or would she risk reaching out for help from those sworn to protect? The shadows drew nearer, enveloping her family in complete disarray, each heartbeat echoing her dread. The air thickened around Anna as she struggled to breathe, the whispers curling like smoke into her thoughts. "We're coming for you," the phrase looped ominously, tightening its grip like a noose pulling her toward a darkened fate. Lily tugged at her sleeve, a fragile lifeline in the suffocating chaos. "Mom, what are we going to do?" The urgency in her daughter's voice shattered Anna's momentary paralysis. "Shoo." Anna whispered back, heart pounding as she shuffled closer to the window, trying to make sense of the twisted figures gathering like a storm outside. She felt their eyes on her, probing and hungry, as if they could see right through the flimsy layers of her defenses. "We need to keep quiet, Lily," Anna instructed, trying to sound braver than she felt. With effort, she drew the curtains closed, blocking the sight of the returnees who seemed to linger just beyond the glass. The shadows flickered, momentarily coated in moonlight, casting lurid shapes that mocked her panic. "Can't we hide?" Lily asked, clutching a stuffed rabbit, a pitiful barrier against the encroaching fears. Anna's mind raced. She considered every corner of their home, the empty spaces that felt more like traps now. "We need to find a weapon," she finally said, her voice low and steady, though panic gnawed at her. "If they come in, we can't just let them." The dread coiled like a serpent in her stomach as she bolted for the kitchen. The dim light sputtered overhead, and she grasped for a butcher knife, its cold steel grounding her for a fleeting moment. But then she heard it, the low creak of a floorboard, weighted by footsteps not of her making. She spun around, heart catapulting into her throat. "Lily, stay back!" Anna hissed, her mind racing, unable to dismiss the terrifying images playing in her head. Each shadow outside felt like a ghost clawing at the edges of her memory, memories of neighbors laughing over barbecues now twisted by silence. The sounds of hushed whispers enveloped their home, seeping through the walls like smoke. It was as if the air was charged with secretive discussions, a malevolent council plotting right outside their door. "We're not alone," Anna murmured, her eyes darting toward the front door, half expecting it to burst open. Suddenly, a loud thump echoed, sending her heart drilling into her chest. "Mom!" Lily gasped, eyes wide and all innocence stripped away. They both froze, time elongating as if the house itself held its breath. Would they dare cross that threshold? Would they come in? "Please, please, don't let them get in," Lily whimpered, her small body pressed tightly against Anna's. She could feel her daughter trembling, legs like jelly. Anna's grip on the knife tightened, desperate to transform her fear into courage, even as doubt gnawed at her resolve. Another thud. Louder this time, followed by whispering voices that coiled in the air around them. She nose crept through the walls, chilling Anna to her core. They didn't just want to invade her home, they wanted her secrets. Lily whimpered, and Anna pulled her close, squeezing her eyes shut against the mounting dread. "If they come in, we fight. Got it?" But even as she spoke the words, the door shuddered, and the voices grew louder, wailing like banshees through the keyhole. The whispers morphed into screams, words muddled but urgent, rekindling a primal fear. Help us, what do they want?" Lily whispered, but Anna had no answer. The realization hit, echoing through the haze, maybe they weren't just monsters. Maybe they were something worse. Something human wrapped in madness. A sick throbbing pulsed in her head at the thought. She couldn't just sit and wait for whatever sinister plan they had in store. "Stay close. We need a way out," she whispered, glancing toward the back door. It was a chance, a sliver of hope tethered to desperation. Shadows clawed at her heart, but she dared to dream of escaping. As they stepped toward the darkness behind the house, the door burst open, drowning them in a flood of light and a chorus of voices that echoed as if the world had fractured. "We found you." With nowhere to hide and nowhere to run, Anna had to decide, to confront the source of the horror or be consumed by it. What would she choose? The light spilled into the room like liquid terror, illuminating the shadows that crawled along the walls. Anna flinched backward, clutching the butcher knife tightly. Lily pressed against her leg, eyes wide with fear, scanning the doorway that now stood wide open. A figure emerged, silhouetted against the brightness. "Mom, who is that?" whispered Lily, her voice barely carrying over the cacophony of whispers trailing into the room. Anna's heart raced. "I don't know." "Stay behind me," she hissed, pushing Lily back slightly while keeping her knife ready. The figure stepped closer, revealing glimpses of skin ghostly pale, eyes unnaturally bright in the dark. "Help us," the figure pleaded, voice warped yet familiar. It was a neighbor from down the street, but something about him was wrong. His face was gaunt, eyes sunken, and his clothes hung loosely as if he had returned from the dead. "Stay back!" Anna shouted, taking a step forward even as her instinct screamed to flee, but the figure's lips curled into a disturbing smile, and behind him, others spilled into the house. Each one bore the same haunted look, each face twisting the familiar into nightmare fuel. They spoke together, their voices merging into a single chilling tone. "You should have come with us," Anna Lily whimpered, clutching the rabbit tighter. "Mom, what is happening?" Sick dread filled Anna's stomach. "I don't know, sweetheart," she admitted, her grip tightening on the knife. "We need to find a way out." Another figure broke from the group, stepping closer. It had once been a friendly face at school pickups, but now wore a mask of torment. "We found a way. We were trapped, Anna. We need you to join us." The whispers grew louder, like a swarm of wasps. Each returnee moved like marionettes, their mouths moving but eyes devoid of life. Anna felt the heat of fear prickle at her skin, sweat pooling at her brow. "No!" she shouted, voice broken by desperation and fear. "You're not real. You can't be real. Trust us," they echoed, their words vibrating across the floorboards. "We shared what we found. You must see." Anna felt the world tilt, a gust of wind howling through the open door. She couldn't think. Her heart struggled against its cage. Time warped, stretching seconds into eternities. The faces of her past, the neighbors, the friends, all twisted now, circling her like vultures. In a fit of panic, she shouted above their choir, "We want to go with you." The silence was sudden, an unnatural calm. Their smiles faded, replaced by despair. "You don't understand," the leader said softly, taking a hesitant step forward. "You're part of this, you were always meant to be part of this." A tremor ran through Anna, words clawing at her mind. What had she missed? What had she done? Before she could form a thought, Lily tilted her head, gaze piercing through the chaos. "Mom, they want you to help them." "Help them?" Anna repeated, unable to fully grasp the weight of those words. "Yes," Lily cried out, her innocence shining through the encroaching darkness. "They need you, Mom." The pleading urgency in Lily's voice struck Anna like a blade. Maybe, just maybe, there was something deeper to their requests. A part of her remembered the stories, the whispers that had woven through her own childhood about the dangers beyond their town, the secrets waiting just out of sight. "Anna." The figures melded closer, desperation palpable. "You're the only one who can free us." A sudden flicker of hope ignited in Anna's heart. Could they be saved? Or would she be drawing them deeper into tragedy? With trembling breath, she took a step forward, knuckles white around the knife. "What do I have to do?" Their faces brightened, but the shadows outside thickened. As the figure spoke, a low rumble echoed from beyond their threshold. "Your choice will change everything." Before Anna could question solid ground, the whispers resumed, more furious than before. The door trembled as if something massive pressed against it from the outside. Could she really wield the power of such dark unknowns? A chilling realization tinged her thoughts. What if freeing them came with a cost too steep to bear? The whispers swelled to a deafening roar. Anna's pulse quickened. The choice lay before her like a precipice. "Mom!" Lily's terrified voice broke through the chaos. "What now?" And the echoes continued, "Help us, or lose everything." Anna stood at the brink, decisions contorting in her mind like shadows ready to consume her. Could there be salvation in darkness, or was doom its only companion? What would be waiting for her on the other side of that door? Anna's mind raced, a whirlwind of terror and urgency. They were all watching, waiting for her to decide. Each figure leaned in closer, their hollow eyes yearning for something only she could give. What did they want from her? "Join us, Anna," the leader said again, voice dripping with desperation and promise. "You hold the key." Lily whimpered louder now, her small frame shaking against Anna's leg. "Don't, Mom. I want to go home. Home." The word echoed like a distant memory, slipping through her fingers just as the sunlight began dimming, swallowed by the encroaching shadows. Suddenly, a dark, heavy force crashed against the door, cracking it slightly. The figures jerked back instinctively, their fervor interrupted. "You must decide." They urged in unison, voices trembling as they stretched forward once more. Anna's breath quickened. "What do you mean by free?" The leader lingered at the edge of the light. "To free us is to let us in. We are the forgotten, the ignored, the lost. You can bring us back, Anna. You just need to accept our reality." The door trembled violently beneath the weight of something. It bucked like it was alive, making Anna stiffen. "I want to let you in," she shouted, a wave of conviction washing over her. "I refuse." But as those words left her lips, she noticed a shift in the faces around her. The smiles faded entirely, replaced by a look of hunger, ravenous need in their pale eyes. "Then you cannot protect what you love, Anna. If you choose to shut us out, they will pay the price." The warning sliced through her. Panic gripped her throat. "What do you want from me?" "Just step into the dark." The leader's voice became a low whisper, intimately close yet impossibly far away. "Your sacrifice will seal our bond. Your blood will light the way." Blood. The word pulsated in her mind, a sickening rhythm. In that moment, Anna's heart felt as heavy as iron. Would it truly come to that? Would she bleed for the dead? The door creaked again, louder this time. Fragments of splinters rained down like spent stars. The figures shivered, energy vibrating around them, and the air turned icy. Anna's instincts screamed at her to run, to protect Lily, to dive into the prophecy she didn't believe. "Mom, we can't let them." Lily's voice climbed in pitch, tears glistening in her wide eyes. "Stay behind me," Anna cried, forcing herself to focus. But the more she resisted, the more insistent the figures became, their whispers now twisted chants. "Join us. Join us." Something massive thudded against the door again, splintering wood and shattering the last remnants of Anna's sanity. A dark shape, indistinct but somehow formidable, pressed through the crack, barely restrained. "Anna!" Lily screamed, her little hand slipping from Anna's leg. "Help!" Time froze. The shadows curled around Lily like fingers reaching out, desperate to snatch her away. In that split second of horror, Anna's heart shook, her protective instinct igniting. With a primal scream, she lunged toward Lily just as the door burst open, light shattered into darkness, its warmth engulfed by the cold grip of shadow. Figures surged inside, reaching out for them, yearning to cross the threshold. The room transformed into a cacophony of chaos, shrieks and moans drowning out everything else. Without thinking, Anna seized Lily's hand, pulling her toward the window. "We have to jump." "Mom, no." Fear mingled with disbelief in Lily's voice, but Anna didn't pause. She was either going to leap back into the world she knew, or willingly step into the unknown. "Trust me," she shouted, adrenaline fueling her strength. "We'll find a way." As they dove forward, the darkness swallowed them whole, and in those brief milliseconds, Anna felt something envelop her, something cold and joyful all at once. But was it salvation or doom? And as they fell, the chilling harmony of the figure's final chant echoed behind them, ringing through the chaos, "You can't escape your fate." Where would they land? What awaited them in the depths of uncharted night? The descent was surreal. Time warped in those split seconds, stretching into an agonizing eternity. Anna held Lily tightly, her scream absorbed by the weight of shadows that surged all around them. With a sickening thud, they hit the ground, a jarring impact that knocked the breath from Anna's lungs. Darkness clung to her, it was colder than she'd ever imagined, a sharp bite that cut through her panic. Instinctively, she rolled onto her back, eyes wide, searching for her daughter. Lily. Panic clawed at her throat. Where was she? A soft whimper broke through the silence. Anna turned her head just in time to see Lily sitting up, disoriented but alive, her tear-streaked face glistening in the dim light that surrounded them. We're not home," Lily stammered, her voice thin and quavering. The world around them was alien and disquieting. Twisted trees reached up like skeletal fingers, their branches twisting into grotesque shapes, casting eerie shadows that slithered across the ground. The air was thick and oppressive, the scent of decay hanging in it like a curtain. "It's just a place," Anna assured, though her heart raced with dread. She could almost hear them, the whispers, the chants echoing in her mind, a haunting reminder of their near escape. "We'll find a way back. I swear." But just then, she felt it, the ground beneath them shifted. A low rumble tremored, growing louder, approaching like a storm. Something was coming. "Mom, I don't like this place," Lily cried, her eyes flicking nervously to the approaching darkness. Anna pushed herself to her feet, her pulse quickening. "We need to move." She grabbed Lily's hand, and they bolted forward, running toward an unfamiliar trail that opened before them, flanked by shadows that curled and writhing like living things. "What if they find us?" Lily gasped, glancing back as they hurried down the darkened path. The shadows felt alive, watching, hungry. "They won tea," Anna shouted, though she wasn't sure. The figures were powerful, their desperation palpable. The thought of what they'd left behind gnawed at the edges of her mind, weaving images of the hollow eyes watching, waiting, but as they raced further into the unknown, the ground shifted once more, and an oppressive silence fell. It felt as if the air had thickened, suffocating, conspiring against them. "Look!" Lily pointed ahead. A flicker of light danced in the distance, a fragile beacon amidst the dark. The flicker pulsed. Anna's breath hitched. Was it safety or another trap? "Whatever it is, we have to see it," Anna urged, dragging Lily along, desperate to uncover the truth. They burst through a tangle of thorns and into a clearing, where the light grew brighter. Before them stood a massive stone archway, adorned with ancient symbols that glowed faintly. The air vibrated with energy, an electric current sending chills down Anna's spine. Could this lead us home? But as they stepped closer, a chilling realization washed over her. The symbols weren't just carvings, they were alive, pulsating with a rhythm that resonated in Anna's chest, mirroring the voice that had haunted her since they fell. "Join us. Join us," it whispered, intoxicating, promising the power she didn't understand. Lily shivered next to her. "I don't like this, Mom. It's wrong." The ground beneath them trembled as a dark shadow slowly unfolded from behind the archway. It loomed larger, a mass of darkness that shifted and writhed like a living entity, eyes swirling within. Anna felt the heat of fear rise in her throat as she turned to run, but before she could move, an unearthly force pulled her back, anchoring her in place. "They can't be denied. You belong to us." The darkness closed in, swallowing the stars above, and Anna could feel its sinister breath against her skin. She fought against the grip, clutching Lily tightly, but the shadows tightened around her, tugging at her very essence. What had she done? What choice lay ahead? Was this the end of her motherly instinct, or simply the beginning of a new terror's cape? As the darkness engulfed them, one thought rang clear. They might have brought something back with them far worse than what they left. And in that moment of despair, she realized they hadn't landed in just a different place, they had stepped into a curse. What awaited them in this realm of shadows? Could they possibly escape this ominous fate? The shadows twisted like fingers around Anna and Lily, squeezing tighter with each passing heartbeat. The darkness was alive, hungry, circling them like vultures. Panic surged through Anna, but instinct kicked in. She had to protect Lily. She could feel the pulse of the archway resonating under her skin, a dark, foreboding song that promised power and despair. Let go of us. Anna screamed, her voice shattering the silence. But her cries felt swallowed, absorbed by the shadows that lingered closer. Mom. Lily's voice was small, trembling. She was trying to pull away, trying to break free from their mother's grasp and the grasp of the dark. I can't breathe. I know, baby, hold on. Anna whispered, teeth clenched and heart racing. She yanked at the air, as if she could physically tear the shadows apart, but they were immovable. A black tide insatiable, crashing against the walls of her sanity. Join us. Join us. The voice, a chorus of terrible whispers, licked over Anna's ears, curling into her mind. It was seductive, almost familiar, wrapping around her thoughts like a creeping vine. She could feel her resolve weakening, could feel it tempting her with visions of strength and control. No! Anna shouted again, determination rising within her like a flame in the dark. She couldn't let them win. She couldn't let them take her thoughts, her will. There had to be a way out. Lily stared up at her with wide, terrified eyes. Mom. I can feel it trying to change you. Change. The word sent a shock through Anna. Her heart slammed against her ribs. Was it possible? She felt something shifting inside her, a dull ache that pulled her towards the darkness. In that split second, she reeled back from the tempting warmth, and her instinct flared. No! She twisted, wrenching Lily closer. They would not become part of this grotesque landscape. With a surge of adrenaline, Anna found her voice, her will, and she shouted, "We are not yours. We are ours." It was raw and desperate, but solid. For a moment, everything halted. The whispers faded, the shadows paused, and the ground beneath them quaked violently. The archway pulsed with anger, the symbols flickering like dying embers. Reject us, and it will cost you. The voice thundered, threatening, echoing with anger. A jagged fissure opened in the air around them, swirling with shadowy tendrils that lashed out. Time slowed as Anna grasped Lily's hand tightly, her heart racing. The tendrils felt greasy and slick against her skin, pulling with invisible claws at their bodies. Run! Anna yelled, and together they sprinted toward the archway, embracing the flickering light as it fought valiantly against the encroaching darkness. They dove through the archway, the world blurring, shifting into a kaleidoscope of horrifying colors and screams. For an instant, fear gripped Anna as doubts clawed at her mind. Would they escape? Or would this be their doom? With a deafening crack, light enveloped them as they tumbled into another dimension. Then silence fell. They landed roughly, and Anna rolled over, gasping for breath, heart pounding erratically. She opened her eyes wide, blinking against a swirl of bright stars above, but the ground felt wrong, a strange texture, a contrasting warmth. They were not home. The landscape around them was alien, familiar yet twisted. Strange creatures skittered at the edges of her vision, slithering shapes with eyes reflecting the void. Mom? Lily murmured, her voice a fragile thread. Where are we? Anna's blood ran cold. She could feel the darkness still lingering at the edges of her consciousness, whispering sweetly, claiming a piece of her. What have we done? Anna whispered, horror dawning, and across the sky, a figure watched. A glowing shadow, lurking, waiting. Its eyes glinted like polished stones, and as it began to move, Anna realized this was just the beginning. What horrors awaited them in this new place? And more importantly, who or what had they unleashed by passing through that archway? The silence of the new world settled like a heavy fog over Anna and Lily. It was unnaturally quiet, the kind of stillness that felt wrong. Gritting her teeth, Anna pulled herself to her feet, scanning their surroundings. Everything shimmered with an eerie glow. Twisted trees with bark that looked almost like skin clustered together in grotesque formations. The vivid colors of the sky were unsettling, a blend of greens and purples that made her head spin. Where are the creatures we saw? Lily whispered, her tiny voice quaking in the thick silence. Anna's heart raced. She wasn't sure. She could still feel the threat lurking behind her, pressing at the back of her mind like a cold breath. "We need to keep moving," she said, forcing courage into her tone. They took a tentative step forward. The ground squished beneath their shoes, a soft, wet sound that echoed like a heartbeat. Shadows danced between the trees, just out of reach, and Anna felt eyes watching them. She shivered, every instinct screaming at her to run. The air shifted, thick with anxiety, and Anna felt a pang of guilt. Had they truly escaped the darkness, or simply leaped from one nightmare into another? "Mom!" Lily tugged at her sleeve, pointing toward a flicker of movement. There, a creature lurked, half hidden in the gloom. It looked like a warped dog, its skeletal frame covered in patches of iridescent skin. Its eyes glowed with a malevolence that froze Anna's blood. "What is that?" Lily breathed, her voice trembling. Before Anna could answer, the creature uncoiled like a snake, slinking toward them with a silent predatory grace. Panic ignited in Anna. "Run!" she yelled, grabbing Lily's hand and sprinting down a narrow path, the soft ground becoming more slippery as they stumbled through the underbrush. They darted between thick, twisted branches, not daring to look back. The howling of the creature sliced through the air behind them like a knife, punctuated by the high-pitched whines that seemed to echo from all directions. It was hunting them. "Mom! I can't!" Lily gasped, tripping over her feet, her face pale with fear. Anna felt the ground shift beneath her, as if the world itself was working against them. "We have to!" she shouted back, her voice hoarse. "We can do this, just a little longer." From the depths of the surroundings, whispers began rising again, almost melodic in their rhythm. "Welcome, welcome," they chanted, hauntingly familiar yet twisted, pushing against Anna's mind. She pushed back, angry tears welling in her eyes. The trees thickened ahead, and Anna spotted a flicker of light breaking through the oppressive shadow. "There!" she urged, sprinting forward. The light seemed inviting, yet Anna felt an unsettling twist in her gut. Should they trust it? As they broke through the last line of trees, they skidded to a halt at the lip of a massive cliff. Below, luminous water swirled like liquid glass under a moon that hung too low in the sky, its glow casting an unsettling pallor on everything it touched. Anna's heart dropped. How could they jump? But there was no time. Behind them, the snarling creature burst into view, its maw open wide, showing rows of jagged teeth. "Mom, please!" Lily cried, desperation creeping into her voice. With no other choice, Anna clamped her eyes shut, holding tight to Lily. On 3, 1, 2, 3. They leapt together, plunging into the void. Time slowed as the air rushed past them. In that fleeting moment, Anna realized that the darkness never truly left. As they fell, the world twisted, and visions blurred. A screaming voice filled her mind. "You cannot escape the truth." Then, silence. But was it a true silence? A darkness was coming for them, creeping closer, like a predator waiting for its moment. What had they unleashed this time? And how much of Anna was left before that darkness claimed them both? The world jolted them back into its clutches with a violent splash. Anna gasped as icy water invaded her lungs. Panic erupted into her chest, bile rising with each desperate gasp. She flailed, arms thrashing, desperately searching for Lily. Cold tendrils of fear coiled around her heart as she finally caught sight of a small figure floundering beside her, wide eyes reflecting terror. "Lily! I'm here!" Anna coughed out, pulling her toward the surface. They broke free, gasping for air. The night air was sharp and alive with sound. Choking on water, Anna glanced around. They were washed up on a dark, sludgy beach lined with craggy stones. The ominous glow of the moon painted everything in unsettling hues, rippling across the shoreline like a living shadow. "Mom! I can't see anything," Lily whimpered, teeth chattering. Anna pulled her close, trembling. "It's okay. Just hold on. We need to find land, to get out of this place." But her voice trembled, too. She felt the heaviness of dread settling over them again. They stumbled through the surf, each step sinking into the gritty sand with an inexplicable weight. The sound of the water lapping at their feet was disconcerting, a whispering promise that something else lurked beneath. That same haunting whisper returned, a familiar echo that ricocheted around them. "Welcome, welcome, stop!" Anna screamed, her voice cracking. "Leave us alone." The shadows on the shore shifted as if laughing at her despair. An overwhelming sense of being watched pressed down upon her. No longer were they just fleeing a creature. Something more sinister lived in this place. Something that twisted reality and preyed on their fear. "Come on, this way," Anna urged, pulling Lily toward the rocky outcrop that loomed like a dark castle in the distance. With each step, Anna felt the energy drain, the shadows closing in. The air was thick with something she couldn't name, a stench of decay mixed with the sweetness of something rotten. "Mom?" Lily's voice quaked. "What's happening? Are we safe?" "No," Anna replied, her throat dry. "We have to keep moving." She fought against her own rising despair, her heart hammering as they climbed over slick rocks. As they reached the top, Anna surveyed the horizon. What faced them was a surreal landscape. The ground undulated like a breathing organism, patches of putrid green grass pulsing in time with something beneath. Puffy clouds rolled above them, swirling in dizzying patterns that would make anyone's stomach turn. The stars blinked nervously, and the moon quivered, a knowing smile etched in its pale light. Suddenly, the sound of scratching pulled her from the reverie. A low growl echoed in the distance. Anna instinctively shoved Lily behind her, scanning the backdrop, the trees that seemed to close in, or maybe, the silhouettes of figures lurking just out of sight. "Mom, please." Lily's voice was barely a wisp, her small body trembling against Anna. They moved to the edge of the cliff, bracing themselves against the cold stone. Anna's breath caught. There was a glimmer of something below. A poorly formed image began to materialize. Faces formed in the water, twisted in agony. It was like their reflection turned inside out. "Mom!" Lily screamed, the horrifying vision seeping into Anna's own mind. She clamped her eyes shut, vision swimming with the overflow of confusion. The growls grew closer. The stench thickened, rancid and overwhelming. With nowhere to run, Anna steeled herself. "We'll face it together," she whispered to Lily, but felt the tremors in her own voice, and then the figures emerged from the shore, bodies contorted, skin glimmering in the agonizing light. They moved toward them, dragging grotesque limbs through the sand, mouths full of jagged teeth. "Join us," a raspy voice called out, twisting through the air, lifting the hairs on Anna's arms. She turned to Lily. "We have to jump again." "But where? What awaited them in this hell?" "Mom, trust me," Anna cried. But even as she said the words, doubt wormed its way into her mind. She closed her eyes, frantically weighing her choices: trust the figures closing in, or leap into the unknown once more. The ground shook, and the air thickened, showing them not just the enemies they faced, but the truth of what was to come. As the darkness slithered toward her, Anna's heart thundered loudly against her chest. What do we do? And then she knew. She needed to find the one who pulled them here. The truth was coming for them, just as the shadows were closing in. What if they weren't the only ones with unfinished business? What had they stepped into? The shadows loomed ever closer, stretching hungrily as Anna felt an unbearable weight settle over her. She glanced at Lily, whose wide eyes shimmered with unshed tears. With a swift motion, she grasped Lily's hand and took a step back from the edge. The growls echoed louder, the guttural sounds reverberating like a funeral dirge. "Now!" Anna shouted as the darkness surged forward. She clenched her teeth, turning her back on the cliff and leaping into the unknown, the air rushed around them, a chaotic blur as they fell into darkness. The world spun. Moments stretched like taffy before shattering into fragments. Suddenly, they landed sinking into something soft and damp. A sickly sweet scent wrapped around them like a blanket, heavy and oppressive. The ground squelched beneath their feet as Anna desperately scrambled to her feet, pulling Lily with her. "Where are we?" Lily cried, her voice tremulous. There was no light here, only an unsettling darkness that felt alive, each breath seeming to awaken it. Faint whispers slithered through the shadows, a cacophony of voices all speaking at once, tales of despair and longing intertwining. "Welcome back," the chilling resonance echoed. Anna's heart raced, its drumbeat a frantic call to action. This place felt familiar, but she couldn't remember how she knew it. A thin, ghostly mist curled around her ankles, dragging her thoughts into a whirlpool of confusion. "Stay close," Anna instructed, clenching Lily's hand. Panic clawed at her throat, but she fought to maintain a level tone. They needed to escape. Tentatively, they moved, navigating through the choking fog. Shapes began to materialize, ghostly outlines flickering in the darkness. Faceless figures glided just out of reach, their hollow eyes watching their every step. "Mom. I don't want to be here." Lily whimpered, her small frame trembling. "We'll get out, I promise." "Just keep moving," Anna whispered, her resolve cracking under the weight of terror. Suddenly, the whispers grew louder, reverberations of despair creeping into her mind. Lost, so many lost, the voices wove together, creating a tapestry of woe that tugged at Anna's heart, threatening to crush her under its weight. Amongst the fog, something stirred, a shadow with jagged edges, creeping closer, the air crackling with malicious energy. A figure emerged, draped in tattered remnants of what once might have been a human shape. Hollow eyes gleamed, fixating on Anna and Lily. "Why have you come?" it rasped, voice oozing malice. "You've returned, yet you haven't crossed the threshold. You're stained by the lives you left behind." Lily clutched Anna's arm tighter, fear coursing through her small frame. "Mom, it's not safe. We need to leave." Anna felt the suffocating grip of despair tightening around her, but she also felt something else, a flicker of resolve. "We're not here for you. We came to find the truth." The figure hissed, a sound that cracked the very air around them. "Your truth is a mirror held against a shattered soul. The path is riddled with regrets. Let us pass," Anna demanded, stepping forward, attempting to shield Lily. The ground trembled with each heartbeat, shadows swabbed at their feet, tugging at them like lost souls. An unsettling laughter erupted around them, echoing off unseen walls. "Passage is not yours to claim. You must confront those you've abandoned." "What does that mean?" Anna shouted, anger boiling within her. And then the shadows parted. More figures drifted closer, faces familiar but twisted memories she had carefully locked away. "Mom, please." Lily's plea broke through the chaos, pulling Anna back from the brink. Anna took a step back, drawing Lily closer. This was it, confronting her past, the choices made that led them here. "Are you ready?" she breathed, knowing they may not return the same. But something deep within her pulsed, a burning desire for closure, for answers. As the figures closed in tighter, Anna's heart thundered. She realized they were on the precipice of revelation. Could she face these specters of her past? Who would they reveal her to be? The squelching mist thickened as the whispers scaled into a deafening wail, drowning out all sense of time and place. Anna swallowed hard. "Let us find out, Lily. There's no going back now." And the shadows lunged forward, reality twisting, drawing them into the depths of their own untold horrors. What if the truth was worse than they feared? What waited on the other side of those twisted memories? The shadows enveloped them, swallowing their screams as they plummeted into the depths of Anna's past. Time twisted oddly, dragging their consciousness through a dark hall of memories, each one flickering with a sharp clarity that sent shockwaves through her core. They landed hard on a familiar surface, Anna's childhood home, once warm and inviting, now a hollow shell of regret. The once vibrant colors faded into shades of gray. Memories of laughter turned sour in her mouth, despair creeping in like a slow tide. Lily cringed beside her. "Mom, I don't like it here," she whispered, her small voice trembling. "I want to go home." Anna knelt beside her daughter, gathering her fiercely in her arms. "I know, sweetheart. We will get out of this, but we need to understand first." The air grew heavier, thick with unspoken truths. As Anna took a deep breath, she felt a quivering sensation that pulled her deeper into the memory. Shapes shifted around them, phantoms of figures from her past circling like vultures. "Anna!" A voice called, piercing the thick fog. It was her mother, young and vibrant, yet a haunting sorrow flickered across her face. "You've come back, Haven Tu? To face what you left behind?" The echoes of nostalgia wrapped tightly around Anna's heart. "Mom, I'm sorry," the words spilled out, each one scarred by years of silence. "You abandoned us," her mother's voice softened, sorrow hanging between them like an iron curtain. "You've carried our burden alone." "I thought it was the right thing," Anna's voice cracked, dread flooding her veins. Around them, memories shifted like broken glass, moments of happiness fractured by the weight of neglect and fear. "You used to care," her mother lamented. "But you turned away when it mattered most." Tears welled in Anna's eyes. "I didn't know how to help. I was scared of losing everything. I thought moving away only deepened the chasm," her mother replied, voice heavy with remorse. "Your running gave way to darkness." Anna felt the ground tremble beneath her as the truth weighed heavily upon her shoulders. "I didn't mean to hurt anyone," she rasped, trembling. "You alone hold the key," the shadows around her hissed, wrapping tighter as they pressed forward, clawing at her spirit. "Accept your past or let it consume you." "No." Lily's voice erupted with defiance, piercing through the wailing whispers. "We won't lose you, Mom." Anna turned to her daughter, eyes wide. The determination in Lily's voice ignited a spark within her. "You're right, Lily. We fight together." The shadows recoiled slightly, sensing their union. "Confront your truth, Anna. Accept your power, or surrender to despair." They wailed as they surged forward, clenching her fists. Anna stood tall. "I will face this," she declared, stepping forward, dragging Lily with her. "I won't let the past define me anymore." With each step, fragments of her memories unfolded, tender moments with friends, laughter echoing in the halls, and the haunting whispers that kept swirling around her consciousness. Yet woven into those memories were the choices that haunted her, the calling she ignored, burdens she carried. "It's time to let go," Anna whispered, sealing that promise in her heart. A clarity washed over her, a flood of warmth igniting her spirit. She extended her arms, letting the shadows swirl around her like a tempest. "I'm no longer afraid." Light burst forward, radiating from her, illuminating the dark recesses where despair clung. The shadows that had once loomed with malice began to dissipate, drawn into the brilliance of her resolve. Her mother's face transformed from sorrow to understanding, the air filled with healing energy. "Anna." "Lily." Her mother's voice echoed, this time resonant with strength. "You are not just the sum of your past. You can choose." In that moment, Anna felt the fractures within her heart begin to stitch back together. They were no longer mere reflections of horror, but lessons to guide her onwards, reminders that connection is an act of courage. She took a deep breath and whispered fiercely to the swirling void, "We won't abandon each other again." As the light intensified, the figures of her past faded into soft echoes lost in the ether. Colors remerged bright and inviting, filling her with a renewed sense of purpose. Suddenly, Anna and Lily were swept away from the memory, the landscape shifting around them. They were back on the solid ground of the glowing archway, a portal shimmering with iridescent light. Angelic music resonated from its depths as the path before them radiated warmth. We can go home, Anna breathed, looking down at Lily's trusting face. Her heart swelled. They had faced the darkness together and emerged stronger. And as they stepped forward, a warm gust of wind enveloped them, the whispers fading into soft encouragement. On the other side, they burst into sunlight. Natural light spilled across their skin, warm and vibrant, the air filled with laughter, a comforting reminder of life beyond shadows. Lily looked up at her mother, eyes bright with hope. "We made it." Anna smiled through the tears, embracing her tightly. "Yes, we did." In that essence of freedom, one thing was clear: they had not just escaped the darkness. They had transformed it into a shield of strength to guard their futures. Now, as they walked into the light hand in hand, Anna knew she had a choice to shape their own destiny, no longer haunted by their past, but empowered by the love that bound them together. And as they took that first step toward home, a bright future awaited them, filled with laughter, love, and the bittersweet lessons learned from their darkest fears. Before we go, if you loved this story, you need to subscribe immediately. Don't miss out on new tales that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Smash that like button now to feed the algorithm and show your support. Flood the comments section with your thoughts, reactions, and wild theories. It keeps the conversation alive. And for the love of stories, don't wait even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to experience this conclusion. Let's build this community together.